What was it worth it? Was it not? Did it meet my expectations? Was it here? Was it up here? Was it down here? Was it all around? What was the tea? What was the tea? And I would have to say, hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is Ayana Michelle for those who do not know me, and I am back at it again with another video. In today's video, I'm doing something a little different than what I've typically done on my channel. In today's video, I'm giving a review. I'm super excited. It's been a long 30 days. Honestly, it hasn't been that long. It felt like it only been 2 minutes, but that's neither here nor there. So if you have not seen by the title, I'm bringing you a little relaxed. We are chilling on my bed. We're chatting it up today, and today's video is all about what is it even called? I think it's called the glow up. I think that was the technical name of the program. So I joined Jayla, Koriyan's and Keesha Kaylee's 30-day Becoming That Girl Glow Up. Hold on, I'm trying to open up the community. Becoming That Girl Glow Up Challenge, y'all. It was a 30-day program that I signed up for, and I'm about to give you guys the tea. I'm going to tell you guys, was it worth it? Was it not worth it? I'm going to give you pros, I'm going to give you cons, overviews, and then all of that to say what my opinions are. These are all my opinions on the program. I'm pretty sure if you ask any of the other ladies, some of them might have thought differently, but this is definitely what I was able to get out of the program, and I'm gonna let you guys know. We're gonna go over overall, we're gonna go over the hosts, we're gonna break it down week by week, and I'm gonna tell you in each week what I felt was beneficial, which week I did not feel was beneficial, and I'm gonna tell you overall at the end of it, do I still think the whole entire program was worth it? So I'm really excited to get into it. So if you want to know what I thought about the program that I signed up for, what I paid my coin for, my money's coin, grab you a cup of wine. I actually don't feel well, so this is juice, but it's in a wine glass. But if you feel good, sis, grab you some wine or grab you your favorite drink, and we're going to sit and we're going to chat, and we're going to talk about this program. So if you want to see it, then just keep on watching. Alrighty guys, so getting into the overview of the program. First, like I said, I'm going to tell you my overview of the whole entire program. I'm also going to tell you my overview of the hosts, and then I'm going to break it down week by week, each thing that we did, each class that we had, and I'm going to tell you if I thought they were beneficial or not. So as far as an overview of the program, I'm going to tell you the cons first, and then I'll tell you the pros. We want to end on a good note, not a bad note. All right, so the cons that I would say overall is I felt like some of the lessons weren't as beneficial. Now keep in mind, I did do Jayla's YouTube hustle course I think at this point it might have been a year or so ago. I can't remember when she released that, but a little while ago I did do Jayla's YouTube hustle course, and I felt like some of the information provided was just a repetitive of that, but what made it different, I guess you should say, was the perspectives, I should say. So Keesha's perspective on different things and like different information that she gave made it different, and my camera's about to die, so hold on, we'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so I opened the blinds and we got a fresh new battery, so hopefully it's a little bit better lighting, and we're chilling. I got me a little blanket. I am so cozy. I am mad because I accidentally left my wine cup all the way across the room, and I don't feel like getting up to go get it at this point, but it's okay. So we're gonna keep going into it. So I think I was telling you about my overall, the pros and the cons. Like I said, I did do Jayla Koriyan's YouTube hustle that was directed solely for YouTube and like YouTube strategies and how to like grow your YouTube channel. So I felt like some of the information was just repetitive of that, and essentially I think it's just because a lot of the stuff is the same, you know what I'm saying? You can only say the same thing, but so many different ways. But like I said, I think what made it different was Keesha's input and perspective on everything and what you should do overall. My pros is I felt like the challenge was great for consistency, great for thinking outside of the box. Like you wouldn't typically I don't know how to say it, but some of the things they had us doing each week, like you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be consistent, but having like the challenges, the weekly challenges, and of course we competitive out here. People are competitive, they want to win. It does not feel good to not win. So they had weekly challenges or whatever, and that kind of just really pushed you to at least try your best to be as consistent as possible because you had that extra nudge. I think also what I liked about the program was they did put us into like smaller groups. I know for like when I did Jayla's YouTube Hustle course, it was kind of up to us to put ourselves in groups. I think they did set us up in like just chat rooms related to what you like, but you could jump in and out of any chat room. I mean, and in this you could jump in and out of any group. If you found a group that you liked, you could ask to go into it. It did take a little while for some of the girls to find their groups. Some people didn't have Instagram, some people did. So I think that was one of the things, but I did like the small little group aspect. I enjoyed my little group. I do think like at the beginning of the challenge when everybody's excited and you're first learning, you're chatting all the time, towards the end of the challenge you kind of like stop chatting as much in the groups. I don't know if it was just my group or all the groups, but I know for my groups by the end of it we weren't really chatting that much all together and whatnot. So that's how I felt about the program overall. Now breaking down into the host, so Jayla and Keesha specifically, right? And I want to talk about like reaching out to them and how their communication was, input was for us in the community. So we use this app called Mighty Networks, and that's what we use to be able to chat with them, have our Zoom calls, be able to reading emails, my bad. Be able to like talk to Keesha, be able to talk and Jayla, be able to talk to all the other girls in the chat. I think there was over 100 girls in the program. However, I didn't feel like that. Like I know, like, and it's crazy because you'd be like, how you gonna pay for it and not show up to like the Zooms? But I didn't feel like there was like 100 people in the Zooms each time. But they did tell us that there was a bunch of girls in the program that had paid for it and that had signed up for it. I think it was like over 100. So that's a lot of people to go through, and I'm gonna set that there, right? I'm gonna just set that statement. I'm gonna let that linger for a minute because we're gonna address that. But I feel like it's a lot of people to be able to try to keep up with. So if I had to mention an overall, another con was how many people there were. It was a lot of different girls, and it's kind of hard to be able to really how should I say, mentor when you have such a large group of people, right? So I know for me personally, I reached out to both Keesha and Jayla throughout my time in the program. Keesha was very responsive. She was super helpful. She actually took the time out to look through my Instagram and look through my YouTube channels and give me feedback and whatnot, and I really appreciated that. That was like super helpful. So I feel like my platform itself, like the look of my platform, looks 10 times better than it did prior to starting. And I did reach out to Jayla as well. I think she was busy. She never was able to respond. But like in the Zooms and stuff like that, if you had a question, Jayla will respond, Keesha will respond. They were more than willing to answer questions, especially when we were in the Zoom and of that nature. So I thought that that was really good, really nice to have that personal interaction. I remember the first time they liked something of mine and Jayla commented, I'm like screaming. I'm like, like I was going nuts. It was hilarious. I'm like over here texting my boyfriend, oh my god, they see me, they actually see what I'm posting. And the reason why I say that is because this is the other part that I feel like is slightly a con, slightly not a con. I don't know what it is. It's kind of sitting in the middle, and that's the part that I told you we're gonna let linger. It's because I felt like there were so many people and we were using one hashtag, right? So everybody in the chat was using the same hashtag on their Instagram posts, on their reels and whatnot. And as the weeks went on, I felt like the smaller influencers kind of got overlooked in the sense that they didn't have the views. You know what I'm saying? So if you were growing like I remember one girl, she had grew like 20,000 followers, which is amazing. Like I am like super like happy for her. Like that's a really amazing feat to have and to climb and to challenge. But I feel like that came along with getting the views, right? So of course every time you post something to get the views. You want people to see it. But if you're not that big, or if for whatever reason your video did not take off, you didn't get as many views on your video, it kind of felt like you weren't being seen. And the thing is, there's so many girls, so they can't really address everybody that they seen. Even when it was time to pick the challenge winners, of course you just pick one or two people, so you never really knew if you were getting, if they even saw what you were doing as a smaller, like a really small, like I mean, like for me, I have less than 1,000 followers on Instagram. So I mean really small. You didn't really know if they were seeing you. You know what I'm saying? Like are you, like, because that's a lot, and as the time's going on, that's a lot of videos to scroll through. You're looking at the same thing. Some people are posting more than what was just the challenges were. You know what I'm saying? They're just posting and hashtagging everything that they post on Instagram. So I felt like it was a lot for them to probably be able to actually go through and really look at everybody's video. Not saying that they didn't. I don't know how they chose to filter that out, especially as more and more people came through. But it did kind of feel like only the girls that were getting the views were winning the challenges. And so if you weren't getting a whole lot of views, and it also depends, like, so say you posted your video, and then for the girls that didn't, it felt like, say you posted your video on, so we got a whole week, right? So say you posted your video on Tuesday, right? But say they didn't go look at the hashtag until Thursday morning, Wednesday evening. Anybody that posted after you did and before they looked, you know what I'm saying? That's who they saw. Like, so that's kind of how you felt. So he's like, okay, well, now maybe I have to wait until like really close. Like, but you never really knew when they were going to look at the hashtag. So it was really like you couldn't pinpoint, oh, now's the perfect time to post to make sure you could get seen, because the way that the hashtag worked, unless you posted your video recently, you were at the top, right? If you posted it recently. But after that, whoever had the highest views on their reels, and for example, and even the picture, whoever had the mainly the reels, the pictures, it just depended, but mainly the reels, if you had really high views, you were at the top, and if you had really low views, you were kind of stuck at the bottom. And it didn't really matter when you posted, like throughout the whole week. Like, so as I know, one of my reels, as time went on, it started growing and growing and growing. So of course it was pushing my reel closer and closer to the top of the reel page of our hashtag. But the other pictures and videos that I had posted after that one particular reel had less views, so that was below. So you saw something I posted 2-3 weeks ago before something that I posted yesterday. So I feel like that was my only con, because you couldn't really, I think it was just so many people. It wasn't like a different hashtag for each week. I felt like that's probably a lot to keep up with, but it was even more a lot to keep up with so many people posting on the same hashtag. So that was my opinion on that. So getting down into each week. So week 1, we started this challenge on May 5th. And I think that's another thing that confused us, the girls, is we thought that it was going to run from May 5th to June 5th. And it actually ended at the pretty much the last day of May is when it was over. So we were like, oh snap, we missing out. But no, it was a month. The month flew by. Like, keeping up with the challenges and the content and posting, like, it flew by. It was a lot to do, a lot to handle, and that's just what comes with being an influencer. Like, you have to be able to keep up. So starting with May 5th, our first class was, and I'm looking down because I have like the breakdown of the classes so I can remember what we did each week. So the first class was Reinventing Yourself on Social Media. That one was pretty much doing an audit of your social media account. So like, I think that one we particularly focused on Instagram, and it was pretty much like they showed us what the ideal Instagram page would look like, how many followers you should have. I mean, not should have, of course you want to grow your followers, but how many people you should be following, right? You don't want to follow more people than who is following you, especially if you're trying to grow as an influencer. So having to cut those numbers down, like go through and do a true audit. Who do you really need to be following? And honestly, they were like, you should only really be following people who benefit you, right? So whether that's family and friends, of course you want to follow them, and then other people outside of family and friends should be people that you either inspired by or just really support and really like to see, you know what? So really tailoring who you're following and making sure it's not more than who is following you, right? And then the same thing with your pictures. You want to keep adding pictures and videos and having like your overall look of the page look good, and even your highlights. They talked about what your highlights should look like. Of course, it's up to you, but it should be uniform. Like, all of your highlights should be uniform in a sense, whether they're all one type of picture with different words or something like that, or they're all like photo aesthetic highlights, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that is. They talked about your bio, right? How should your bio look? Like, what is the layout of your bio? What draws people to your page? How can you be direct but short to the point? Because there's only so much space that you can put in there. They gave us all of those different types of tips and what to put in there for your bio, for your Instagram. We talked about, I believe in this day, we also talked about pictures and the quality of your pictures and the importance of taking good quality pictures. We talked about editing apps, and one of the editing apps that they mentioned was the Face app. And honestly, that app is your holy grail. It just is. It just takes, like, especially if you already took a bomb picture, and when you go in with that app, maybe you just want to fix the lighting or something like that, or make your contour pop just a little bit more. It just takes the picture from that was great to this is awesome, like like different things like that. You don't have to do all those crazy things and the shape shifting and all that other stuff in your videos, but it did really benefit. And that's pretty much what day 1 was, or our first class, and I really enjoyed that class. They really dropped some good gems in that class that I truly appreciated. The week after that was Tuesday, and that was our next class. Our next class was Financial Literacy for Entrepreneurs, and I actually really enjoyed that class. And the reason why is because I'm a finance major. I do finance stuff, but there was a lot of stuff that I did not know. Like, I didn't know that you could make your brand a legitimate business. Now, I knew your brand was a business. You had to treat it as if it was a business, but I didn't know you could make it a legitimate business. I thought businesses only had to be like services or products, but technically you're offering a service. As an entrepreneur, you are offering a service. You are a content creator, right? So I thought that that was really beneficial. They talked about taxes. They talked about a lot of different stuff in that class that I felt was truly good. That was like really good information to know. Of course, a lot of the stuff you could Google it, but the thing is, what the benefit of the program, I think, right, was that it gave you, of course, everything you can Google, right? You can always Google things, but you need to know what to Google Google in order to Google it, right? You gotta know what you're typing in there to figure out what's gonna, so Google can know what to pop up. Google cannot read your mind, but if you don't even know, you can't type it into Google. So this gave you like I think the helpful point of this program, it gave you those the answers to things that you would not think to know, right? You would not think to ask until you're in that predicament, right? I think that was definitely, what was that? Oh, I thought my camera was saying something wrong. But I think that was definitely, all right, so I just found out the hard way that my camera cuts off after it looks like 20 minutes of recording. But anyway, so we are back, and I was talking about the financial literacy class. Overall, I thought that was a really good class. I truly enjoyed learning that one. I think they really dropped some really good gems and tips, and they did have a guest speaker for that one. The guest speaker was super nice, super sweet, and she answered all of our questions to the best of her abilities, I should say. Some things that she did was like, oh well, you need to speak to a lawyer, you need to speak to somebody else, I can't help you with that. But for the most part, she didn't answer any questions that anybody had that she could answer. So the next class, which was on Thursday, and this will be ending off week, okay, so technically this is week 2, and I think that's where we were all confused, because I felt like class probably should have started on Tuesday, and you know what I'm saying, but it is what it is. But this is ending off week 2, and this one was how to beat the YouTube algorithm. And mind you, each week we had an assignment due. So for this week, I believe this one, all we had to do was post 2 Instagram pictures and 1 reel, and that's all that was due. It was due by Thursday. So that was the challenge for this first week. And the reel that we did was the snatched, you know, his soul type of reel, and that's the one that actually kind of started trending a little bit on my page. So I really enjoyed doing that reel. It was super fun. It was really out of my comfort zone. I really had a lot of fun filming that and posting pictures and whatnot. I will say that week 1 was a little stressful. It was a little stressful trying to like get content together in such a short amount of time, but I really enjoyed it because it's like, that's honestly how much time you really have. Sometimes you really only have 1 or 2 days to get content done, and you got to spend that whole day. Now for me personally, I work a 9 to 5, so my days are a lot harder to film unless I'm home. Like, so today I'm working from home, so it's a little bit easier to film content like on my downtimes, on my lunch break and stuff like that. But when I'm in the office, it's a lot harder. Thankfully now though, with the daylight savings, it is lighter, a little bit longer. So even when I get off of work, I still have a couple hours of daytime to try to get some stuff done. So I do really appreciate that. But yeah, so this class, Thursday's class, was how to beat the YouTube algorithm. And pretty much it was about hashtags and different pretty much ways you should post, right? And how you should title your videos. What is in your description box? What are you hashtagging? Mainly it was about the titles of your videos, making sure that your title is something that people want to see, people want to click on. You know, a lot of people nowadays like to vlog. We all love to vlog, right? I still love to vlog, and I post on my vlog. I post vlogs, but now it's more so I learned that you kind of got to be tailored when you're posting your vlogs. I thought I heard somebody come out. Anyway, you got to be kind of tailored when you're posting your vlogs, because especially if you're a small influencer, you know, like myself, people don't know what my dog's name is. I don't got a dog, but I'm just saying, like, if I had a dog, unless it's like, you know, you gotta name your titles of something that people would be able to search, so that way it can pop up, or be suggested, so that way it can pop up, or that's trending. You know what I'm saying? Like, be very meticulous and particular about how you're titling your videos, and then also what your thumbnails look like, your videos and things of that nature. So that's kind of what we talked about that during that class, is just how to like really get your videos on the algorithm. And personally, like I said, I did do Jayla's YouTube hustle course, so they pretty much said the same things from that course on how to beat the algorithm. I feel like that was actually like a part of her lesson in that YouTube hustle course. Also, it was like one of the topics we talked about. So that particular class, it wasn't anything that I did not know of already, I should say. Yeah, it pretty much wasn't anything that I did not know already, but it was definitely still beneficial, I should say, from the aspect of, I think they even told us like how to like get our link trees together. That might have been week 1, but whatever, just tagging all of that stuff, connecting all of that stuff, getting everything together, like different things like that is what made this one a little bit different. Because I know when I did Jayla's, we didn't talk about link trees, we didn't talk about any of that, but that's because we were focused solely on YouTube. We weren't even I don't even know, we did go into thumbnails. I don't think we did description boxes, so that was really beneficial, like really making sure your description box, because even though not everybody looks at your description box, there are some people who do look at your description box. So really making sure that you take your time and you really have a well thought out, organized description box. It's not just a bunch of random things just thrown up in there that makes no sense whatsoever. So that part, it's not that I didn't know that, but I didn't know how much it mattered, right? And it actually does. So that was something cool. The hashtags. Now, I knew about hashtags kind of a little bit, but just they showed us different websites. I think one of them was like TubeBuddy, where you can link it to your YouTube. I think it might be a subscription you have to pay for to get the hashtag feature, but it pretty much will tell you different hashtags and what they're ranking. That might not have been TubeBuddy. It might have been a different one. They talked about TubeBuddy and one other one. I forget what the other one is right now, but they talked about a couple of different things just to really like help you figure out, like, honestly, hashtags is another way that you can really get your videos on the algorithm. So they kind of talked about things like that and different ways, like be strategic with your hashtags too. Like everything that you are posting, they explain to us, you have to be well thought out and strategic with all of your content that you're posting. All of your content, well thought out, very much strategic. So I thought that was really beneficial. The next week, and I think the challenge for that week was to post, yeah, after that, our challenge at the end. So on Thursday, we got a new challenge. Every Thursday, we got a new challenge. So after this, our challenge was to continue posting what we were posting. So post 2 pictures and 1 reel. And I think at least one YouTube video was on this one. And this reel, we had to do, which reel was this? Was this the mini vlog? Let me go to my page real quick. I think this was, yeah, this one was the mini vlog. We had to post a mini vlog, I believe. No. There's no way that was the mini vlog. Did I miss a reel? I think either this was the mini vlog or they let us post whatever we want. Oh no, this week they let us post whatever we wanted. I think. Oh, I am tripping. So the first reel that we had to post was a hard reel. I'm not sure why I forgot that. The first reel we had to post was a hard one. And that was the becoming her type, or becoming that influencer, becoming that girl, where you tap the computer screen and it has a bunch of different transitions in it. That was week 1, y'all. That was week 1. We was all over here like, huh? You want me to do what for week 1? You want me to do what? How am I supposed to figure this out? And that was week 1. The snatch video was week 2. And of course by then, okay, we over here feeling like we transition pros at this point. Like we feel like we are masterminds at transitions because of this. Yo, it was so it was so much fun. And the snatch one, it was out of my comfort zone only because of how my snatch video was. So if you haven't seen it, it is maybe I'll put it like right here, or you can just go to my Instagram and check it out. Ayana Michelle, check that out if you want to see it. But it was so much fun doing the snatch one, doing the becoming. I did mine as becoming her, and it was content day, so that was me pretty much preparing to shoot content. That's what I did. And then the second one after that was, I think we were, after the snatch video, I think we were able to post whatever we wanted. Either we were able to post whatever we, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no, after that was the mini vlog. So then after that, our next challenge was the mini vlog, and then after that we had to post a branded type of content. But after the how to beat the YouTube algorithm, we went into how thumbnails that gets views. It was an intro to Photoshop. I think the guest speaker that they brought for this class was, she was super sweet. She was so nice. The only issue that I had with that class is that it was done on Photoshop. A lot of the girls in the chat and in the community didn't even use Photoshop. So I felt like, you know, it would have been nice to have maybe half the class with Photoshop and then maybe half the class with Canva, to give Canva tips, because a lot of the girls did have Canva and was using Canva. And I do see the benefit, like the guest speaker that they had, she didn't use Canva. So when some of the girls would ask her, well, hey, how can I do this in Canva? Of course she couldn't answer it because she doesn't use Canva, so she doesn't know how to. So you didn't really get a benefit from that class unless you had Photoshop, right? So unless you were going to pay for Photoshop and consistently use Photoshop, you didn't really get a benefit from that class. I mean, it was cool information to know. It was nice to see. But like even the PowerPoints, even the graphics that they were showing us, as in Jayla and Keesha, they did that in Canva, you know? So it would have been nice to have a Canva class rather than a Photoshop class, you know? Because clearly you can do it in Canva. It's possible to have good creatives and good content and good thumbnails and all that other stuff made from Canva. So I thought it would have been nice just to have a class on Canva rather than Photoshop. So that was my only con for that class. But the guest speaker that they had was super sweet. She was really nice, and I enjoyed watching the class, even though I didn't get a true benefit because I don't have Photoshop and I don't plan on purchasing Photoshop right now. So that was that. The next class, which was Thursday, was Mastering YouTube CEO plus Video Series and Title Planning. Oh, wait, am I tripping? I thought how to beat the YouTube algorithm was about the titles. Well, this class was about the titles. My bad. I feel like all of them, but I feel like because we kind of talked about a lot of things all together, because as girls had questions, even if it was in a later class, they still answered it. And then when that class came, they just reiterated and like went into like further depth. So I feel like we're kind of talking about things all together, just a little bit. But yeah, so this one like was really getting into the nitty gritty about how you should plan your content, right? So it's pretty much like the consistency. How much should you be posting, right? How should so when you get to the point where you could be monetized in YouTube, right? You get ads, and ads revenue is how you get paid. Now this was the tea that I didn't know. They did drop some tea on this about how many ads that you can put on the video, because some people were like, you know, even myself, I was like, oh well, I have another channel that's already monetized, and I was like, oh well, I don't want to put too many ads because I don't want to overwhelm people, you know what I'm saying? But the way YouTube works, not every person who sees your video will see an ad. YouTube figures out how they want to configure who will get an ad and who will get an ad, what type of ad they'll see, what type of ad they won't see. So as a content creator, you want to make sure you have enough ads in there. And I definitely noticed a significant increase in my YouTube revenue when I started being more strategic about the amount of ads that I was putting in my videos. And that's definitely what I got out of this particular class. Of course, the other stuff was important, but like I said, I did do Jayla's YouTube hustle course, so the rest of the stuff was things that I already do. But that particular one was something that I didn't know. So that was something definitely beneficial that I took out of that class, was just about ad revenue and how to be strategic with it, where to place it, and things of that nature. What should be, of course, like, you don't want to restrict yourself. So I know some people were saying that, oh, if there's a little bit of cussing in the video, then they're going to make sure to check the box that says, oh, there's cussing. And it's not that you want to be deceiving, but as long as you're not cursing like a sailor or something like that throughout the whole entire video, and especially not in that first few seconds of the video, couple of minutes of the video, don't restrict yourself in that nature. Don't do that to yourself, because then it's going to restrict the people that YouTube pushes your video out to, and it could be a really good video, so you don't really want to restrict that. So just being mindful about how you the boxes and things that you check off when you are uploading. Now for a person like, so for example, I got to see both sides of it, right? Because I have one channel that is monetized, and then I have another channel that is not monetized, right? Let me fix myself before YouTube tries to flag this video. And so for people who don't have channels that are monetized, some of this information was not beneficial, right? Because they're not at that point yet. The only I'm clearly talking too much because camera keep cutting off. But anyway, the only point that they can be at is getting their name out there and just trying to grow their channel. So that's like, so I get to see both sides of it, and I thought that that was pretty cool to be able to see. So that's what I was able to take away from that class. The next class that we had was how to create your media kit. Oh, and that Thursday challenge for the next week, that's when we did the mini vlogs. Yes, that is when we did a mini vlog, and my personal mini vlog was a mini vlog manifestation. So I chose to take it the route of just speaking out into existence the type of content that I want to be able to post and provide on YouTube, on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, all of that. That's how I decided to do mine, and then of course posting pictures and whatnot. So we still had that, and then I think it was posting 2 YouTube videos this week. So that was the challenge. And then the next class was how to create your media kit to pitch to brands. Now this class I thought was, again, I thought it was beneficial in the aspect of nobody really tells you about media kits and how to use them, and you know what to do when it comes to media kits, how your media kit should look, what should be included type situation. And they talked about that. They talked about all of that. They showed us what Jayla's media kit looked like. They showed us what Keesha's media kit looked like, and they look like 2 different things. And it doesn't, and I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter, but it is up to you as a person, right? Like what you think and what you want in your media kit, you know. So media kits are good for your manager, if you have a manager, to be able to pitch you to brands. And then also if you're pitching yourself to brands, like that's good that you can just send them your media kit. You can have 2 different options in your media kit, right? You can have a media kit that just tells your stats, a little bit about you, and then you can have a separate document that shows your rates and whatnot, because depending on the person, some person might be okay with having one set rate, and then other people might change their rate depending on the brand that they're working with, right? So they don't want to send out a set rate, and then, you know, of course you can negotiate everything though. So you can negotiate if that's not what you're looking for. If they want more than what your set rate includes, you can of course negotiate things like that for yourself. So it just takes a little bit of learning, right? A little bit of learning, and they got more into that for the next lesson. But for this particular one, my only con with this class is, again, they only showed us how to do it in Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, if you don't plan on using Photoshop, it wasn't beneficial. Now, me personally, I don't have Photoshop, but I do have Canva, right? And I bought like a template off of Etsy just to give me a rough draft, and then I went and changed everything. I changed all the colors, I changed some of the pictures, I changed some of the placements of things. And what I did learn, there are different things that I took from the Photoshop class, was like backgrounds. What could you put in your background? Different little like graphics that you can add to it. You can do that in Canva. So I went and I made my little media kit in my Canva. I made it all cute, made it all pretty, and all that stuff. So it was pretty much a lot of taking what you could, right? And then just taking whatever could apply to your life. Whatever couldn't apply, it just couldn't apply. You had to throw it to the side. Just throw it to the, that's the left, so throw it to the left, and it was what it was. And whenever you could apply, whatever you could take, whatever information that was beneficial, you just stick it in your back pocket, and then that way you're able to use it for later. So I think that's pretty much what the whole entire course was just filtering out, okay, what out of this can I actually use, what's good, what's beneficial, what's not, type situation. The next class we did was brand deals and negotiating easier for influencers. And this is pretty much all talking about managers and things of that nature. If you need one, should you get one, at what point should you get one? And honestly, managers like are good when you already have a following, point blank period. It is good when you already have a following, when you're still trying to grow, and if you have the extra funds to be able to pay a manager, then okay. But it'd be good to learn how to do that stuff for yourself, right? So that way you're not always relying on your manager. And that's kind of the tips and the keys that they dropped in that class. Some of them was you got to learn how to do a lot of this stuff on your own. Because you, like, also say for example, you get a bad manager, right? Say you get one that is not actually looking out for you, not actually on your side and trying to make sure that you're getting the best brands and getting the best deals, and they're only worried about their pockets and their money, but you know nothing about the negotiating. You know nothing about working with brands, right? So you're just going to take their word for it, right? Because you're like, oh, well, they're the manager, right? So whatever they say must be right, right? No, that's not always the case. It's not always the case. So it's really good to be able to know kind of what it's like, what the negotiation process looks like, what reaching out to brands look like, how that process works, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's pretty much the gems that they dropped in that class. Yes, you can get one, you can search for one, or you can use like different platforms to help you navigate, that help you get, there's a bunch of different platforms out there now and before that you could use to help facilitate brand deals. So you sign up for it, and like you can pitch on like the app itself or the website itself, or brands can see you on the website itself, and you have like, you see the rates for everything and like that. Or you can reach directly out to a brand via email and things of that nature. That's where your media kit comes into play. So that's pretty much what they dropped in that class. And then our challenge for this week, or our last week of the whole program, was to finish everything that you were doing before. So still post 2 videos, still post 2 YouTube videos at least, still post 2 Instagram pictures, still post a reel, but this time it had to be, at least one of them had to be a brand worthy type of content, picture reel, whatever you wanted to post it. So I did a reel. Personally, I thought it was fun and a cool idea to do a reel. So I posted me a branded reel for Venus. So I was excited about that. It was fun. It really makes you kind of like try to think outside of the box. So that was the class before last, and then our very last class was pretty much just a last hurrah. It was like a last, any other last questions, anything else, and we kind of talked about the brunch. So that we are doing a YouTube influencer, not YouTube, an influencer brunch in Atlanta, and I'm really excited about it. I can't wait for it. It's a little, I don't live in Atlanta, so it's a trip. It's a trip and a half, but I feel like it'll be really beneficial. It'll be really cool to kind of finally see some of these ladies in person. You've seen them all online, well, like, yeah, like online technically. So it'll be really cool to see some of these ladies in person. So that was a breakdown of every single lesson and class that we had. So what is my overall? What was it worth it? Was it not? Did it meet my expectations? Was it here? Was it up here? Was it down here? Was it all around? What was the tea? What was the tea? And I would have to say it was worth it. I really enjoyed the program. The program was $100 for 30 days. And like I said, you did have to take and tailor what would work for you and your current standpoint. So of course it's not fun to not win a challenge. I don't think I didn't win any of the challenges, but I'm so happy for the girls that did, because they were killing it. They were out here posting their content, getting them views. It was amazing, and I was really happy for all of them that did win. One of them was from my group, and I was like, whoop, 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 whoop. So I really enjoyed the program overall. I thought that it was really beneficial. It really helped you just to kind of want to stay in this consistent mind space, right? Like this consistent, and like one of the motto was, you are a six-figure digital creative, right? And it makes you want to really keep hustling. It makes you want to keep showing. Like my goal right now, like I'm over here setting up what my goals for June are, and one of those is to have my channel reach a certain goal by the time this influencer brunches, so that I can say, look, I've still been following your tips, and I've still been following everything, and this is the payoff. So even though the 30 days itself is over, I've set myself up on another 30 days, and we're gonna see how I progress, how I perform, and I'm really excited for it. But yes, overall, I thought it was an amazing course. I'm so glad that I decided to participate in it. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. It was really nice meeting some of the ladies there. I think I gained like at least one really strong connection. I really love the girls in my group. I was super excited about just posting and content and just trying to really think outside of the box for things. Like, it just was an amazing experience. Me personally, I did really enjoy it. I felt like I definitely got my money's worth, and now I'm just really excited to see, like, I know for me personally, I did get I think I got like over 60 followers now, and I know that that number is not a lot to some people, but I was stuck. When I tell you, I was stuck on like 600 and like no 500 and some odd followers. Like, I could not get past that, and I've never ever in my Instagram history have had more followers than who I'm following, and I finally had more followers than who I'm following. So like, that just really pushes you, like things like that. Like, so no, it's not this big, extravagant, amazing set of progress, but to me that was, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me that was big, that was extravagant, because I'm like, wow, like it's really paying off. So mind you, by the end of the year, if I keep all this up, woo, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be so exciting, and I'm just But I'm honestly blessed that I was even had the opportunity, because I wasn't going to do the course. And I was like, no, do the course. Maybe this will be the key, the push. Honestly, this course gave me the push that I needed to really just say, you got this, right? You got this. You can do this. Stop doubting yourself. Stop second guessing yourself. Stop second guessing your content. You make great content. And like, even when they were looking at stuff and they were liking stuff, and I'm like, you make good content. Don't give up. Don't give up, sis. Don't give up. So I love the program. I thought it was really good, and I'm super happy that I got to be a part of it. Overall, 10 toes up. 10 fingers. There were stars, you get 10 of them. 5-star rating. It was amazing. I love the program, and I thought it was great. I don't know if I do another one now, because I think I learned pretty much everything I can learn from somebody else telling me now it's time to just get the work in. But I 100% recommend. It was a great program. So that was everything, y'all. I know that this video is going to be long, but I wanted to be thorough. I wanted to be detailed. I wanted to let you know what the tea is. Was it good? Was it not? I had to go through all the classes, all the sessions, the pros, the cons, and yep, that is everything. My full opinion of the program, and I'm just super excited to see what's next. So it's gonna be great. I already know it will. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so that you can see more of me, because I promise you we'll be posting a whole lot more. You guys are going to get all of this content out of me. Hold me accountable in the comments, y'all. Hold me accountable. If y'all don't see me posting at least 3 times a week, say, ma'am. You still have 30 more days. You have 30 more days. So I'm really excited, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.